you. Thank you for not buying furs. I know you humans are pretty smart. You have to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves warm without killing me. And I said, you know, they don't do it for warmth. They do it for fashion. They do it for power. And she said, I know, but thank you anyway. Then I walked a little further and there was a stray cat. She still had a little neon collar on with a little bell. As she walked a few feet and she stretched her front paws. Oh gosh, she looked so adorable. And then she walked right up to me and she said, thank you. And I just looked at her for a second and I said, for what? And she just looked at me for a second and her little ears were standing straight up. And she said, in some countries, the cow is sacred. Because I've heard that in some parts of the world, I'm considered a delicacy. And I said, how do you know of these things? And she said, when somebody eats one of you, word gets around. And then she looked at me for a second. She said, in some countries, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you humans prepare them for slaughter? Hey, hang them upside down and slit their throats so their still beating hearts will drain out all the blood for you. She said, isn't it really funny how arbitrary your decision to eat meat is? And I said, don't put me in that category. I don't eat meat. And she said, I know. And then I walked deeper into the forest, managed to get away from the picnic tables and the outhouses that lined the forest edges. The roaring cars gave way to the rustling of tree branches, the crackling of fallen leaves under my step. When the wind tunneled through, the wind whistled and sang as it flew past the bark and trees and leaves. I walked, I listened to the crack of dead branches under my feet, and I felt a branch against my shoulder. I looked up and I could hear, I could imagine the trees speak to me, and they said, thank you for letting me leave this animal with you amongst us. We do think they're so pretty, and we can promise them. And thank you for recycling paper, because you're saving us for just a little while longer. We've been on this planet for so long, embedded in the earth. We do have souls, you know. We cling with our roots. We don't want to let go. And I said, but I don't do much. I don't do enough. And they said, we know, but we'll take what we can get. And then I woke up in a sweat. So tell me, Ted Cruz. So tell me, Jeb, exclamation point, Bush. So tell me, Marco Rubio. So tell me, entertainer-in-chief, Donald Trump. So tell me, Bernie Sanders. So tell me, Hillary Clinton. So tell me, Barack Hussein Obama. If you woke up from that dream, would you be in a sweat too? I mean, do you even know why we should save the rainforest? Oh, just tear the whole forest down. What difference does it make? Put on some orange groves so our concentrate orange juice could be a little cheaper. Well, did you know that people look for cures for diseases, and it helps them if they can find the substance first in nature? And a tree that appears in the rainforest may be the only one of its species with a cure, or one like it might be 2 miles away from it instead of right next to it. I wonder how many cures we've destroyed to plant more orange tree groves. Serves us right. You know, my motives aren't selfless. I know these things are worthwhile in my life. I'd like to find a cure to these diseases before I die of them. And I'm not just a vegetarian because I think it's wrong to kill an animal unless I have to. I also know the excess protein pulls the calcium away from my bones and gives me heart attacks. It gives me osteoporosis. I know the excess fat gives us heart attacks. And I know we could be feeding 17 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. I know, you keep looking at me and calling me an extremist, but I'm sitting here looking around me, looking at all the destruction caused by family values, and thinking that the right, moral, non-violent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals so we can be wasteful and violent. We destroy our plants. We destroy our earth. We're even destroying our airs. We dump our waste into our lakes. We wreak havoc in the soil and the atmosphere. We pump aerosol cans and exhaust pipes. If you call me extreme, and these animals in the forests keep calling out to me, the oceans, the wind. And I'm beginning to think that we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop. And deep inside we feel the pain of all that we've killed, and we try to control it by popping a chemical-filled painkiller. We live through the guilt by taking nicotine, caffeine, morphine, and we keep ourselves thin with saccharin, and we keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning. And when that's not enough, maybe a line of coke, or maybe shoot ourselves in the head in front of the mirror in the master bedroom, or maybe we'll just take some pills, go to the garage, turn on the car, and just fall asleep. In the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do. A shorter one just to close out my vegetarian rant, I guess, and that's the appropriate way to describe it. This one is called On a High Horse Like This. I listened to a hunter from Africa say, "All life is sacred." And he said this after separating a small, thin, non-venomous snake from around a large African hawk-like bird's neck. Because, you see, that bird attacks snakes, but the snake couldn't eat this large bird once it was dead, and that would have been a senseless death. All life is sacred, you say, so I couldn't help but think, as a hunter, do you pray for the sacred dead after you've killed it? I mean, I don't usually vocalize when I get on a high horse like this. And I've had to explain myself to meat eaters. No, these shoes aren't leather. I'm a vegetarian, and I still have to feign a smile to commiserate with meat eaters of slaughtered animal. Because you see, I'd look like a fool for having beliefs different from what other people had. That's what I get for having a moral choice that's different from your own. I mean, we're Americans. If it's, an animal, if it's not human, or maybe a dog or a cat, eat it. It's that simple. But I married a hunter, a Marine who served our country, and he told me that every time he killed an animal, a part of him felt a regretful twinge of pain after he'd killed his prey. The prey that he searched for with the weapon that he could use before anything was close enough to be an enemy or a predator. Oh, sorry, I'm getting on my high horse again. It's convenient how people can just now get their kill from the grocery store without having to get any blood on their hands. Anything to stop people from thinking about what they're doing. Because I've heard that killing something makes you feel something. And I thought,